leaving it as it was, but I shall try tonight. One day in 1970, I wrote a poem about Lindsay and I up in San Francisco, and it was probably the most beautiful poem that I ever wrote about the two of us. And obviously, as he will talk to you later about how difficult it became later, it was not difficult when this poem was written. Everything was just easy and beautiful, and we were young and crazy and nuts, and everything was difficult and hard to do, but we were having a great time trying to figure it out together, and that's what this poem was about. So anyway, the poem went in a drawer, and Lindsay and I decided to move to Los Angeles. I think I must have grabbed the poem along with many others, and we hopped in his Skylark and drove to LA to get a record deal. So we did, and we made this great record called Buckingham Nicks. And then the record company 3 months later dropped the record, and Lindsay and I were speechless, devastated. You can't even imagine. We had no idea what to do. We were broke. So what do struggling musicians do? They started on the record, and they begged somebody to give them some free time in the studio, which we got. So we think that we put the poem to music in 1974 when we started our second Buckingham Nicks record, and that it was probably one of the first 2 or 3 songs that we made really good demos for the coming record. And then this is where I forget where I am in the story. It's true, it happens every night. So, and then, Lindsay, and then what happened? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we started a second album. And we were in the early stages of that when we ran into this guy.
Right. Well, we didn't exactly run into it. We were in Sound City doing a record, and Nick came out there and heard some songs off of the Buckingham Nicks record. And he was actually looking for a place to make a record, but he was also looking for, okay, this is where my story really gets messed up. Really, seriously, I'm just completely screwed. So, okay. Really, I am. I'm completely, I'm starting to sweat. All right. Well, anyway, so we recorded a couple of demos, of which this was one. And then Mick Fleetwood heard some of our music, and he wants to remind me, he wanted to remind me, to always remind you, that one of the things that attracted him to us was the way that we sang together as I just had this, the last show, we kind of were like a triangle, Lindsay's guitar playing and our two voices. He plays very much in counterpoint to what we do when we're singing. And this is special, it's different than anybody else. And Nick said, remind the audience that this is one of the things that attracted me to you guys when I first, heard your music. And I'm like, okay, great. So for the first 3 weeks, this is the story I'm telling. And then one night, Lindsay Buckingham says to me, that's really not what happened. What happened is this. Mick Fleetwood was looking for a lead guitarist. Nowhere in the words lead guitarist does it say lead guitarist and hippie girlfriend.
Well, I was very complimented by Mick's offer, but being in love with Stevie and loyal to her, I said, Mick, if you take me, you gotta take my girlfriend too.
So to wipe the slate clean here, and to end the story, I would like to thank my boys up here, First of all, Ms. Buckingham, thank you for taking me with you in Fleetwood Mac on this wild ride. I would like to thank you, Mr. Mick Fleetwood, old caterpillar of Alice in Wonderland, for asking Lindsay and me, by proxy, to join your magnificent band. And I would also like to thank Mr. John McPhee because I can just hear him in the background saying, "Just bring the girl!" See, it was really, really long, the story. Anyway, the song is called Without You. It is on our little EP, and we're going to do it just about exactly as it was done in 1974.